Hello, and welcome to Mad Scientist Club. I'm Ms. Rachel, and today we're going to be making snowmen, and we're going to be talking about snow. In your kit, you should have your water bottle, which will be your snowman, your balloon, which will be the head, and a little sheet of paper, which you can use to make the body. Now, while I do some very quick decoration in my bottle, because our main project is going to be the water bottle with the vinegar and the baking soda, I'm going to tell you about the water cycle, which is where snow comes from. The water cycle starts with water on the ground. That's pretty basic in lakes and rivers and whatnot. And as the temperature rises in the air, that water will evaporate into the air and it will go up into the clouds through the process of evaporation. And then when it's in the clouds, we call that condensation. And with the water in the clouds, eventually it gets so saturated that it has to rain. And sometimes when it rains, which is called the precipitation, that's the stage in the water cycle, and you've got this nifty little chart that tells you all about it. When it's raining, sometimes the air temperature is much colder than water can be liquid at, and so the water solidifies into ice or snow, depending on the temperature of the air and how fast the water is falling, and sometimes some other factors as well. So as you can see, we've got our body here, and now I'm just trying to get it to close. Excuse me, this is noisier than I expected. You can cut your paper into strips or into circles to decorate your water bottle if you don't like this method. As you can see, it's not really closing the way I intended it to, so we may end up having to go in and change what I've put in your kits, because at this point when I'm filming it, you don't have your kits yet, and so I still have time to fix any mistakes I've made like that. Alright, so that's all set. And so what happens to this water is it freezes, and because water doesn't freeze all at once when it's in the air, it forms this fractal pattern, which is what you get, which is a snowflake. And in your kits, you should have some snowflakes if you want to decorate your snowman with those. Make sure you stretch out this balloon before we move on to the next stage, because if you don't, this project will not work. Alright, get it really stretched out. You might even want to blow on it a little, because it's going to inflate when we put it on top of the water bottle here. And now I'm going to draw a little face on my balloon, which will look really cool, like the snowman head, when we do the rest of this project. Make sure you stretch it out before you draw on it, because otherwise you will get marker all over your fingers. Alright, so we've got our little head here with the face on it. Looks a little grumpy, but I promise it'll look better when I'm done. So now I'm going to take the cap off. You might want to wait until you have the baking soda in your balloon. You're going to need a funnel for this. Roll the balloon onto the funnel, or stretch it over the funnel, so that when you put your baking soda in there, it will go down the neck and into the base of the balloon. Here. And you have quite a bit of baking soda. You have more than 1 tablespoon in your bag. We're going to start with 1 teaspoon. In fact, we're going to start with half of a teaspoon and see if that's enough. And if it's not enough, I can always add more and the bottle will blow up eventually. But I will tell you at the end of this experiment how much to use based on the amount of vinegar that you have in your bottle. So now we're going to take the balloon. We're going to stretch its neck again over the lip of the water bottle. And I will tell you exactly how much to use when you're doing this, so that you don't have to worry about doing this twice. And then we dump the baking soda in, and there's a chemical reaction between the vinegar and the baking soda. And as you can see, it's already working. And it produces carbon dioxide gas, which inflates the balloon. And carbon dioxide is what we breathe out normally. And you can see it's not inflating very much, so I'm going to use in just a minute here, once this all fizzes out, a little more baking soda, and we'll get to the exact amount that you'll need when you do your experiment. But now you've seen that it does inflate a little bit, and if you don't decorate your bottle, in fact, I'm going to take this decoration off, you'll see the chemical reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar, and we're going to shake this out a little bit more. Try again with a full teaspoon, excuse me. Do not put an entire tablespoon in there. It will fizzle over the top, and you will not be happy with the results. All right, we're going to put the full teaspoon in there. We're going to try again, and then you can watch the chemical. As you can see, it's already fizzing up because I accidentally dropped a little in there. Alright, so we're going to take and try this again. Dumping all the baking soda in. We're watching. Balloon inflates, and it is inflating quite a bit more than it did last time, which is what we want it to do. And as you can see, the gas travels all the way up here, even though there was only that much vinegar, because that's how intense this reaction is, which is why you only want to use between 1 and 1.5 teaspoons out of the 1.5 tablespoons that you have. So you have more than 4 times enough baking soda to perform this experiment, which means you could theoretically perform it 4 times with 1 bottle of vinegar. Just make sure you give it plenty of time to cool off and saturate before you take the balloon off and add more baking soda, because if you have too much vinegar and baking soda, it will fizzle up all the way through the top of the balloon and spill and make a mess, which is unpleasant to deal with, but not really dangerous or an actual problem. That's all we have for this month. We'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed your snowman projects. Bye-bye.